Hi, Building Exhibit friends. I'm looking forward to our Zoom week for our virtual building exhibit evaluations. This is a little video tutorial that kind of goes along with the help sheet that I gave you, just aimed at helping you make the most of your Zoom sessions with your judge. I very much want this to be you giving thought to how best to show the things that you've made. And I have some suggestions that we'll go over, but I really want you to be the thinker here and decide this is what I made. How best can I show the judge that through a Zoom call? So there really isn't any right or wrong answer. And one exhibit might be shown a couple different ways, but I'm going to leave that up to you to think about and decide for yourself. Again, I'm going to share some tips with you. One thing I do want to stress though is finding a good place at home to set up that brings the best environment for you to be able to share. So here's an example of what not to do.
Hi everybody, it's Renee, and we're here today to talk about getting the most out of your virtual Zoom meeting with your evaluator. I've started off with a few things wrong in this setting. I'll give you a second to think about what they are. All right, first of all, how's my appearance? Do I look great? Can you even see me? A little bit backlit here, so I've got to change my location for sure. Notice all the distracting elements in my background. Not a really great Zoom setup. And do you hear anything other than my voice going on right now? Got a lot of background noise going on too. So let's fix those things and then we'll move forward. Okay, that should be better. The background is not as cluttery as it was before. There is still a little bit going on over here on the side, but I think it won't be too distracting. You don't want a super distracting background. I've turned an overhead light on and I've pulled my hair back and I'm smiling and I have neat, clean clothes on. My appearance is still good. And we've also turned off the background music. A couple other things that you're going to want to make sure that you have is enough room around you. Have all of your exhibits around, but maybe not on the camera at the time. But have them within fairly close reach so that you can get them when it's time to show them. Because I'm on the computer, I'm not moving the camera around. I'm going to have to move my exhibit around. So I would bring up my exhibits. This is my little succulent plant. And I can bring it up close and show the judge the health of the plant. I can't really tip it because the minute I tip this, all of those rocks are going to come tumbling out. So if that's the case, you don't want to spill anything on your computer. It would all land right on my keyboard and that's not good for the computer. So if the judge is asking for a different view, just make sure they understand you can't move your camera that well, but you'll do the best that you can. So you can do a close-up and then you can also bring it back to give it a little bit more perspective. This is the size of the exhibit next to me. So that gives a little bit more of a scale. All right. Another example is if you have something that you've sewn, here's a little apron and I'm holding it up for you, but you can't really see the whole thing. So in that case, you're going to want to make sure that you can stand up when needed and you can back up enough to try to show the entire exhibit. So now I can get the whole apron within the screen. And again, you can still bring up close to see the seam lines on the front and the back, and you'll still be able to talk about the process that you went through to make it. Okay, so if you are going to share photos of your work, I recommend you create a folder on your desktop to put everything in. You're going to want to make sure that's open on your desktop before you join your Zoom call. Then when you're in your Zoom call, you're going to look for the share screen button down at the bottom and click on that. And you should be able to find somewhere, this is going to show you all the windows you have open in your Zoom. Look for the one that looks like your open folder, which is here. Click on that and then click share. And that will bring up all of your photographs. So if you don't want to print out photos that you're exhibiting this year, it's fine to pull them up here. You're going to want to make sure that you have the cropped image if you have any edited ones, as well as the original, so you can talk about both of those. And then when you double click on it, it's going to bring it up and the judge will see this photograph also, and then you can have your conversation about the photo and what went into taking it. You can use your arrows here to scroll through any that's the original one. It's going to take you through any of those open photos that I have in that folder. This is a photo of a map
of an insect safari taken in a backyard. Notice it is actually a photograph of the map, but the photograph is so close up that you can actually read the words. And that's the idea, is the judge is going to need to be able to read what you have. So if you're taking photographs, make sure you take a variety and close enough so that the judge can see what you have. When you're done sharing, all you do is hit stop share and it will bring back up you on camera. If you need to share again, you go back to share screen, find your open folder. Maybe you're sharing jam, the recipe for it. So there's my recipe, it's actually a photograph of the recipe in the book, a picture of the cover of the book, as well as the year that it was published. And I can stop share again. And if you're sharing any exhibits that you have that are really large and you have a series of photos showing those, go ahead and put those all in a folder so that you can open that up and then walk the judge through the different photographs that you've taken.